And here come your Wildcats onto the field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we want to welcome you to another K-West broadcast of high school football. Tonight, it's the Weslaco East Wildcats taking on the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Both teams won their season openers. Each beat Sherryland 21-14, while McAllen Memorial defeated the other Sherryland team, Pioneer, 40-27. I am Joe Aguilar, going to be joined by Coach Boswell tonight. Coach, in for a good game tonight.
In for a good game. Something's got to give. Now, the last time, Joe, these two teams met here in McAllen, it was a shootout. Trevor Spates versus Saul Cuellar. Tonight, could it be Campbell Spates versus who, maybe Fabian Castro?
It could be. He led the charge for the Wildcats last week with 30 carries, 198 yards, and a TD. But, of course, the Wildcats have various people that can run the ball. Last week, they had 5 people with carries on the game last weekend. Of course, you mentioned Spates. He had 150 yards on 12 carries, but Mendez was a big ground gainer for the Mustangs last week with 202 yards on 24 carries. He also had 1 reception out of the backfield for 7 yards. Well, we got a great game in store for us tonight. Two teams who predominantly are going to be running the ball. However, Burgett has said many a times, and we've heard him, we're going to pass the ball, but we have to see that. We haven't seen that yet. So tonight that they air it out, who knows? But nonetheless, we're going to see a very good game between the Mustangs and the Wildcats. The Mustangs won the toss. They elected to receive. They'll be going from south to north or left to right on your television screen. The Wildcats will defend the north end zone. On to kick for the Wildcats, Daniel Lerma. Back deep for the Mustangs. We are going to have...
It's like Trace
Domian?
Domian is one of them. And I believe Campbell Spates is the young man with the football.
And Spates does have the ball. He's got some running room in the middle, and he's out to the 35, to the 40, where he's finally met by some Wildcats, and they bring him down at about the 42-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will begin their very first offensive series of the night. First and 10, 43-yard line.
Now, one of the things, Joe, that the defensive coaches from the Wildcats were concerned about is the unbalanced formations that McAllen Memorial will throw at you, and they're also concerned about the change in tempo. They didn't feel like they handled that real well against Sherryland last week.
We got 2 running backs in the backfield, and we've got Martinez in motion. Spates will take the handoff. He's across the 45 to the 46, where he's hit hard by J.C. Vargas.
Amongst others, J.C. Vargas, also number 3, Ryan Rodriguez in there. It's going to be a matter of stopping the big play. Last week Campbell Spates fumbles on his first carry of a high school football player, and on his second play goes 67 yards for a touchdown. He runs very much like his brother. He'll look like he's going half speed, but once that hole opens, he'll get in it.
Well, pick up of 3 on that play, bringing up a 2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line. Once again, it's going to be Martinez in motion. Quarterback tosses it to Mendez. Mendez looking for some running room on the left side of the field. Picks up 1, maybe 2 yards, where he's met by a host of Wildcats, including J.C. Vargas again.
And believe it or not, I believe that Roy Pedraza, number 5, was involved in that. We will know that was Ryan Rodriguez, number 3. So Roy Pedraza is in on defense right now. We will see him later in the game on offense. And here comes McAllen with a little bit of a spread formation.
Sending Will Garcia and Saul Martinez wide right. 2 backs in the backfield. Almaguer under center. Play action. Rolls his right. Ball is in the air, and it is caught by Martinez on the other side of the 50-yard line to about the 45. Pickup of 8, and that's going to move the sticks.
That was a nice play action by McAllen Memorial. Of course, the Wildcats are selling out on the fake to Spates. A nice little out route to the receiver, and it's first down. We said earlier, it may come down to the team that actually can throw the ball, because both teams are going to set up to stop the run.
Nick Tovar splits wide left. Again, Mendez and Spates in the backfield. Almaguer under center. Handoff to Mendez. Mendez up the middle. And he moves the line about 3-4 yards after what seemed to be no gain.
Well, they made about 4 yards just on the push. The young man is listed at 215, Joe. So, he can move a pile if he's 215 pounds.
So they're going to give him 4 yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Mustangs. We are under 10 minutes to go here in the first period. Still no score. You're watching Wildcat football right here on K-West. Mustangs are going to send Will Garcia wide left. You got a power eye. Toss to Spates. Spates off the left side. Trying to lead the charge and blocking, and Spates may pick up only 2 yards on that play.
Right. They motioned the man over to give him another blocker over there, and right now they have not gone away from where that motion is going. So the Wildcats, I'm sure, are slanting or stunting over towards that motion. So far, so good in stopping the big play. Now we got to stop the 3rd down.
Well, 3rd down and 4. Ball is resting on the Wildcat 39-yard line. We are now under 9 minutes to go here in the first period. Receivers to the right and to the left. On the left side, we've got Saul Martinez. He caught that first pass. And this time the handoff is to Mendez. Mendez off the right side, trying to get across. And the ball is on the ground. It's a fumble, and it looks like Eric Gonzalez has it for the Wildcats.
That's right. That's a little play that they were concerned about with Mendez. They call that a G play. The tight end blocks down, the tackle blocks down, the guard pulls and kicks out. Mendez tries to get up in that seam. Wildcat defense shows up in the hole. It's a fumble, and that fumble was caused by number 37. That is Marcus Caceres, and recovered by number 4, Eric Gonzalez. Let's see what the Wildcats have up their sleeve. Following that first turnover, Joe, every game comes down to turnovers, so that's a big one right there for the Wildcats.
So here come the Wildcats, their first possession of the night. We've got Lefevre as the quarterback. He is in the shotgun. He's got 1 running back in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to his right. And here right off the start, we've got a passing play, a little too high for Vargas. Vargas looked like he lost his footing there on that play.
He did, Joe. He lost his footing on that little in route coming off. You had the inside receiver running an out route, the outside receiver running an in. The read is to look at that outside linebacker. He made the right read, but JC not having his footing on that turn changed the throw a little bit, so it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Well, last week, the first pass from the arm of Lefevre was incomplete. The second one was complete. He only threw 2 passes last week. Same formation for the Wildcats. This time, Lefevre's looking left, nowhere to go. He scrambles, runs out to his right, and he cuts upfield across the 35 to about the 38. Hits a Mustang so hard that he knocked his helmet off.
Well, we talked about this last week. The biggest guy in the field starts running up the field and starts running with a determination that he had on that play. And you know what? There's going to be people turn down the hit. And he did. He took on the defender number 25, Joey Delgado, and he is listed as 185 pounds. And he's going to be on the sideline for this play because you have to leave for 1 play after losing your helmet.
We got twins right and twins left. Fabian Castro in the backfield with Lefevre. 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats from their own 38-yard line. Little confusion there. Lefevre was looking over to the sideline, and they finally decided to call a timeout to talk it over. Coach, you were talking before the game that this game could go down to last possession and or turnovers. Right. Well, on the first possession of the Mustangs, we've got a turnover.
Right, and you know, you're going to be a successful football team when you're plus in the giveaway takeaway category. I know in my coaching career 1 year we were 10-0, won a couple rounds of the playoff. We were plus like 20 that year, which means you're not turning the ball over and your defense is taking the ball away. Those are hitting yards, and those are also hidden possessions. And even if East does not score on this drive, that's a possession taken away from McAllen Memorial. They go to the sideline with doubts. Okay, and then when they come back on the field, they didn't break any big plays. By this time last week, Joe, they had busted a 67-yard run. And so far, they have nothing but bing, bing, and bing. So what is my thought process right now? Are we going to get the big play? Right now, East needs to convert.
Well, here comes East. They are on the field. Fabian Castro, the lone setback. This time he's on the right side of Lefevre. He stays in the block. Lefevre looks to his right, doesn't see a receiver. Now he's stopped and grabbed in the backfield. and then he smartly throws it away where no one can put a hand on that ball.
Right, no one could get a hand on it, but you also got to be smart because he was still inside what they call the tackle box, and that could be considered a grounding, but it was not called. I'm sure Coach Littleton is asking him why it was not called, but it wasn't, so it's going to be 4th down, and look for Lefebvre to be the punter.
Well, we've got 7:35 to go here in the first period. Mustangs.
Looks like JC back to punt.
It looks like JC is back to punt. The Mustangs fumbled on their first possession. Wildcats looks like they are stopped on their first possession, and JC Vargas does punt it away. And it goes in the direction of both Mustang return men, but they decide to let it go, and it's going to be down at the 14-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will begin their second possession of the evening.
Tight end Jonathan Bolness, number 44, downs that ball. You know, when you got a guy like JC, Joe, back there in the punt formation, he can run, he can throw. So they had to kind of be safe on that punt return, and that ball rolls down to the 14 where the Mustangs will start their second drive.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 14-yard line. First period action here in McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. No score between the Wildcats and the Mustangs. Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Handoff is to Mendes. Mendes right off the right guard, and looks like he's going to pick up about 8 or 9 yards on that carry.
Yeah, they were really looking at Spates on that play, and Mendez kind of got underneath the defense a little bit. The inside linebackers cannot be in a hurry to get out of there.
So they're going to give him 8 yards on that carry, where it'll now be 2nd down and 2 from the 22-yard line. Now under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Receiver right, receiver left, 2 running backs in the backfield. Mendes with the ball again. This time he stopped right about where the yardstick is, where he needed to get that first down.
It's going to be real close.
24-yard line is where he needed to get.
Maybe a half yard short, because it says 3rd down right there, Joe, and they haven't waved it towards the 1st down. So here's a big play right here. Wildcats get a stop here would be huge.
3rd down and 1 from the 23-yard line. Mendes, Spates in the backfield, no one wide.
Unbalanced.
Almaguer under center, trying to draw the Wildcats off sides. Tossed to Mendes to the left. He's got some blocking. He cuts up the field, gets across the 30 to about the 31. Pickup of 6 yards, and that's enough for a 1st down for the Mustangs.
You know, that was one of the concerns Coach Guzman had. The Mustangs on the right side went a guard, a tackle, and a tight end. 4 guys to the right, and only 2 guys to the left of the center. The Wildcats shift over, and they run back the other direction. So it's going to be 1st down on about the 31-yard line.
5:45 to go here in the first quarter. Nick Tovar wide left. Mendes, no, they've got a different running back in the backfield. It's going to be Spates and Bassan, I believe. Handoff is to Spates off the right side. He's met by a host of Wildcats. First one to make contact is Adrian Duran.
So they went to a 3-man backfield. Number 28 still back there, Joe. He's just kind of up in a fullback position, and it's kind of like they have 2 tailbacks. Let's see what they got off of that. But on that play, all 28 did was block.
They give him 1 yard to the 32-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Under 5 minutes to go. Unbalanced again. Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Roll out to his left. Almaguer looking for receiver. He gets rid of it. And I don't know if that was caught.
If it was only for about a 2-yard gain.
It was, but there was a fight for that between a Wildcat and JoJo Williams of the Mustangs.
Yeah, I believe that was number 20, Alvaro Medrano over there. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 6, Joe. So once again, the Wildcats are in a field position that they really got to like, but you need to stop here and let's get a punt out of this thing. Doubles.
All right. Balmaguer, the quarterback. Mendez is the only running back there with him. He's going to stay and block. Quick toss to his left, and the knee was on the ground. It looks like that pass was to Will Garcia, but his knee was on the ground, and that's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what Coach Littleton wants to do at this point in the ball game. You want to believe that you can get a first down when it's 4th and 1, but you don't want to give the Wildcats the football on the 40-yard line. Let's see if they try to draw them off sides.
Yeah, Almaguer, the quarterback, is in the huddle. Mendez and Spates in the backfield. Will Garcia split wide to the left. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first. And coach, there is a long, it's to Spates to the left. And he's met in the backfield, and the Wildcats stop him.
That's a great play right there. Number 4.
Eric Gonzalez is the first one in the backfield. We got Marcus Cáceres is back there as well.
And from the backside, we had Adrian Duran closing the deal, and it's going to be first down Wildcats. Joe at the 38-yard line. Let's see if Coach Burgett has something big on first down. After a turnover, sometimes he likes to go big. Okay, we've got a hydration timeout, Joe. You want to go to a quick break?
We'll take a hydration timeout as well. You're enjoying Wildcat football right here on K-West. We'll be right back.
I have a choice.
My education means a lot to me.
So where I go to school counts.
My parents want what's best for me.
But I also want all that a traditional high school has to offer.
I want teachers that'll help prepare me for college.
I also want a well-rounded education.
And that means getting involved.
Things like band,
sports, choir.
there's so many things I can do outside of the classroom that can prepare me for life.
I do have a choice in where I go to school.
And I choose Weslaco.
Weslaco ISD.
Welcome back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium, where we've got the Wildcats taking on the Mustangs. 3:20 to go here in the first. JC as the Wildcat quarterback. He takes it and he runs off the left side, and he keeps moving his feet inside the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards for JC Vargas on that first play from scrimmage after the turnover.
Well, he made the Mustangs adjust to that. Lefebvre's back in the backfield, but it's the same formation. It's a triple stack I.
To the left, we got Fabian Castro, Roy Pedraza on the left side. They're going to hand it off to Castro right behind the center. And Castro has some running room inside the 30 to about the 26-yard line. And that's going to be a Wildcat first down.
Well, that's a nice job inside by David Decanini. Also, you got in there, you've got Ricky Cardoza. You may have Mario Trevino in there. You have Armando Sainz and Albert Vasquez on the offensive line.
Same formation for the Wildcats. Lefebvre again hands it off to Castro. Same play, same results. 6-yard pickup for Castro. Back-to-back runs right behind the center, and back-to-back 6-yard pickups for Fabian Castro.
And I can't forget number 66, Andres Garcia, also one of the offensive linemen, and the tight ends, number 44, Jonathan Bolness. And right now, they're taking control of the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 4. This time they hand it off to Pedraza. Pedraza goes untouched into the end zone from 17 yards out.
Right off the left side, 3 guys in the stack. Guy, Joe, Josh Pedraza is the second guy in the stack. And he gets there before anybody can adjust. And the 181-pound state champion in powerlifting goes in for the touchdown.
So the Wildcats strike first here at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium with 2:08 to go. And on to attempt the extra point is Chris De La Rosa. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up. And the guys with the striped shirts say it is good. So with 2:08 to go here in the first quarter, the Wildcats are on the board first. They lead this one 7-0. We'll be right back.
Get your ass. You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Coach Boswell, bringing you all the action in this contest between the Wildcats and the Mustangs. And of course, we can't forget our cameramen extraordinaire, Julian Alvarez and Vinny Berry, doing all the great job on the camera work tonight.
That looks like Orlando Fuentes, Joe, number 86, kicking off for the Wildcats.
He'll be kicking off, and the ball fell off the tee. Looks like the wind may have knocked that one down. Back deep.
You know, back when my daughters were little, Joe, that's what you would call psych. Or maybe Linus and Snoopy and Lucy, you know,
there
trying to kick the field goal. Yeah, moving the ball.
Looks like, yeah, JoJo Williams, Campbell Spates, and maybe Fernando Elizondo, back deep for the Mustangs. So we'll try this one all over again. Orlando Fuentes on the kick for the Wildcats. And this one is up and away. And it's going to be retrieved in the end zone by J.C. Basan. And he's going to elect to take a knee. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 25-yard line.
That's a great place to start a series right there. And right now, McAllen Memorial needs something good to happen. And right now, the Wildcats can really steal the momentum if they can make something big happen right here.
2:08 to go here in the opening quarter between the Wildcats and the Mustangs. Wildcats strike first, lead this one 7-0. And same offensive formation, stack left. They toss it to Spates on the left side, and he's hit hard after about a 5-yard pickup.
You know, there's no original thoughts anymore in football. People steal from each other. You know, these two teams were in the same district, Joe, for 2 years, and had some knockdown, drag-out fights. So it doesn't surprise me to see the similar formations.
Well, when you've got talent at the running back position, you've got to mix it up, and both teams have great talent. Split right is Saul Martinez, I formation with Mendez and Spates in the backfield. Handoff is to Mendez right behind the center. He cuts back to the right, and he's going to pick up the remainder of what they needed for the first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. He picked up exactly 5.
Yeah, I believe that was a little trap play or a little dive. It's hard to tell if they pulled anybody inside there, but they're just trying to play all field position. They want the inside run, the outside run. Right now, the Wildcats are doing a good job on Campbell Spates. Maybe they need to get 28 rolling.
Will Garcia and Saul Martinez split to the right. Mendez and Spates in the backfield. This time the handoff is to Spates. Spates off the right tackle, maybe picks up 4 on this play.
Yeah, again, it's a little power play. They're pulling the backside guard. They're leading the fullback up inside the hole. They're trying to get a lot of people at the point of attack, but right now, the Wildcats are doing a good job of bending and not breaking so far. We're inside 1 minute in the first period. So this may be, Joe, the last play of the quarter.
You and I were thinking the exact same thing. This could be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, our friend Jake Berry from 956 Sports was telling everybody this would be the fastest game in the history of the Valley, these two running teams.
Spates and Mendez again in the backfield. Almaguer tosses it to Mendez off going left. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but Fernando Garza couldn't bring him down. He picks up about 5 yards. Looks like that's going to be enough for the first down. They indicating that it is a first down. So as soon as they put the sticks down, those last 7 seconds on the clock are going to tick off.
Yeah, the Wildcats actually did a pretty good job up top there, but you just got to get the big man on the ground, and he pulled them forward for a first down. And Joe, that's the end of the first period on McAllen.
That is the end of the first period. It is the Wildcats 7, the Mustangs 0. You're enjoying Wildcat football right here on K-West. We'll be right back. Okay. Welcome back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We are just about to start second quarter action. Wildcats lead this one 7-0. First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 45-yard line. Hand off to Mendes. He gets across midfield to about the 48-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 7 for Mendes.
Once again, they went unbalanced to the offensive right side, and they're finding a little room here on the weak side, or the side away from the unbalance, and they pulled forward to about 8 yards there out of Mendes. Both teams are being very patient right now. I know that Coach Littleton is hoping something pops, but right now they're willing to go 3 yards in the cloud of black rubber.
Nick Tovar and Saul Martinez wide right. Same two people in the backfield, Mendes and Spates. Hand off to Mendes. Mendes right up the middle. He's going to get across the 45 to about the 44, pickup of 3, and that's going to be good enough for another Mustang first down.
That time it was a trap. The left guard pulls across and blocks over on the right side of the formation, opening that up inside. And they still have unbalanced, or what you would call an X over, because they have 2 receivers over there, but on that same size they have a tight end. Nobody back here is eligible.
First and 10 Mustangs at the Wildcat 44-yard line. They're going to split Will Garcia and Saul Martinez to the left. Martinez is going to go in motion to the right. Hand off to Spates right behind Martinez and the right tackle. He gets inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Looks like that's going to be a pickup of 4, maybe 5 yards.
Right. Once again, you know, the Wildcats are doing a good job. I know one of their concerns was stopping the big play. The Mustangs had, I believe, 4 of their 6 touchdowns were pretty long plays last week. They felt like if we could slow down that big play, that we had a good shot here. But we need to get off the field right now and get the offense back out there.
Well, this time they split Martinez to the right and Tovar to the left. Same 2 running backs in the backfield. Little crisscross in the backfield. They give it to Spates, who's going to run off the right end, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on that play.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and about 3. So here we are again with a big 3rd down. And to be honest, I don't know Coach Littleton as well as I know Coach Burgett, but he's got to be thinking 4-down territory from the, what is it, Joe, 37-yard line?
Definitely. We have 9:50 to go in the first half. The Wildcats lead this one 7-0. The Mustangs began this drive at their own 25-yard line and are now at the 37-yard line of the Wildcats, where it is now 3rd and 3. Garcia and Martinez split for the Mustangs. And Almaguer, a little confusion in the backfield. He ends up with the football and smartly tucks it and runs. And he gets inside to about the 32-yard line, where they are going to move the chains again.
Well, I would love to have heard that huddle call, because I think that was a called quarterback keep. They've seen something out of the defensive end or the outside linebacker from the Wildcats and see him starting to make plays inside. And they told the quarterback to keep it, unless he missed the handoff.
Unless it was just a bad exchange,
right,
because it looked like he fumbled the ball for a little while there. But here we go, Mendes in motion to the right. And they're going to hand it off to Mendes right behind the center, and he's going to get inside the 30-yard line to the 29, pickup of 3 yards.
Well, I know one thing, Joe. We're already 3 minutes into this period. We're inside 9 minutes. This clock is just going tick, tick, tick. And like I said earlier, our friend from 956 Sports, Jay Berry, said this would be the first game finished tonight. And it's going quickly.
Well, we've had 2 incomplete passes from the arm of Lefevre and 1 hydration timeout. And I think that's the only time we've seen the clock stop. Also when they stop for the moving of the chains. So here we go again. Martinez in motion. Hand off to Spates. Spates, same play right off the right tackle, and he's caught from behind and brought down inside the 15 at about the, inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line, bringing up another 3rd down for the Mustangs.
You know, he was about a step away from being gone right there, and somebody came out of pretty much nowhere and just stopped him rudely. You know, it's pretty impressive to see a freshman physically handled.
And the person that came from behind to stop to catch him was Adrian Duran. So here we go. I formation. Mendes is the first running back. In the I is going to be Spates. Martinez split to the right. Handoff is to Mendes. Mendes right up the middle. And I don't know if he got enough for the first down. Looks like they're going to mark this one as a 1-yard pickup. Yeah, so it may be a little short of the first.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Let's see if they even bring the chains in. I'm seeing them wave a timeout. So maybe they're going to bring those chains in and check it out. Oh, no.
No, they're going to say he got a first down.
Mr. Mike Buck in the white hat stepped forward, took a look at it, and signaled first down. So right now, Coach Guzman, the defensive staff at Weslaco East, needs to find an answer to this very methodical drive by the McAllen Memorial Mustangs.
Well, the Mustangs again with Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Looked like a little motion there. Timeout. Timeout Mustangs.
So they obviously saw something they didn't like and got the timeout right before the snap. So it's going to be first and 10 from the 22.
Well, this drive began at the Mustang 25-yard line. They've, like you said, Coach, methodically have moved the ball up the field, just 5 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards. I don't think we've had a run more than 5 yards so far.
You know, and it wears on you, Joe, to get beat on. You know, I was an offensive lineman, and you gain strength from a drive like this, which kind of doesn't make sense, but you start feeling like you're dominating the guy across from you, and you almost gain strength. As a defensive lineman, you're getting pounded on and cut blocked and piled up, and you got to get up and do it again and get up and do it again, and mentally, you get tired before you get tired physically. That's why you see even in the NFL, they change defensive linemen way more than they change offensive linemen.
Well, we've seen several looks from the Mustangs. They've had a power eye left, they've had overload left, and they've had your power eye, and they've gone to a two-set backfield.
And a double tight set.
And a double tight set as well. So here we go, first and 10 for the Mustangs.
Pass.
Play action. Almaguer looking to the left, and it's in the direction of Garcia, and just a little too far for Garcia to be able to drag or haul that one in. Defensively for the Wildcats, that's Ryan Rodriguez.
And Ryan Rodriguez is shaking his head because he got fooled a little bit there by number 81, and good thing that ball was overthrown because he was open long enough to make a play.
So that'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Mustangs. Ball is on the Wildcat 22-yard line. 7:15 to go here in the first half. Counter play, and the handoff is to JoJo Williams off the right side, and he's going to find the end zone.
You know, I was listening to a report the other day, and I guess this young man JoJo has been injured, and people thought that he was going to be the running back, but he wasn't able to go last week, so Campbell Spates stepped in and did a nice job, and now they're in a position to play them both. And with this extra point, we'll have a tie ball game.
Well, JoJo Spates on that counter play came across, ran around the right end, and found the end zone, 22 yards on that play. And on to attempt the extra point is Aldo Tovar. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So it's 7:05 to go here in the first half. The score is now tied at 7. You're enjoying high school football on K-West. We'll be right back with more action.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Back deep for the Wildcats, looking like that's Eric Gonzalez and J.C. Vargas.
I think that's Roy Pedraza.
Roy Pedraza, 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't tell either, but I think it's Roy.
Here comes the kick, and it's in the direction of Pedraza. It's going to hit the ground and go out of the end zone, so that'll be touchback. First and 10 for the Wildcats. They'll begin their third possession of the ball game at their own 25-yard line. They've had pretty good field position here tonight after a fumble and a stoppage of downs.
Let's see if they can go 75 yards and answer that drive.
So the Wildcats are coming onto the field. Richard Lefevre is going to be the quarterback. We're going to have a power eye right behind him. He's under center. Handoff is to the second back.
I believe that's Roy Pedraza, and he got nothing on that play.
You're absolutely right, Coach. That is Roy Pedraza.
Got to get some movement out of the right side of that offensive line on that play. The Mustangs were ready for it.
That they were, so with no gain on that play, that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. We are all tied at 7.
JC in the backfield.
JC Vargas in the backfield as the quarterback. He's going to keep the ball. He's running off to his right, has a little bit of running room, and he's at the 30, and he's caught from behind as he's looking for somewhere to go. Jorge Gutierrez catches him from behind.
Wow, I thought that was either a horse collar or a face mask, and there's not a flag for either one. And of course, the big screen is not showing that on the replay. Here we go. Let's see if we got a face mask here. Gosh, it could possibly have been a horse collar, but it wasn't called that, so I guess it wasn't.
Burgett wanted it, and so did the Wildcat fans, but that is a no call, so it's a 5-yard pickup for Vargas. 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Lefevre under center. 4 seconds, 3 seconds on the play clock, and it just went down to 0. Looks like Burgett was having Lefevre wait so that he could call a timeout.
Well, you want to make sure you got the right personnel on the field. You want to make sure on this 3rd and, what is it, Joe, about 5, that you, you know, if you can get to 4th and inside 1, he'll go for it. That's the kind of coach he is. But you got to get in that position. But I'm sure he was upset. It looked like JC may have got roughed up on that play, but you know what? No flag, no flag.
Well, we want to take a little bit of time to thank our camera crew, Julian Olivares and Vinny Berry, for their great work that they do week in and week out. Of course, we want to thank Dr. Leo, the superintendent of schools, interim right now in Weslaco, and of course, the principal over at Weslaco East High School, Dr. Raul Cantu, and all the hard work he puts in, and the athletic director and all the hard work that he does for all athletic programs in Weslaco, Mr. Oscar Rioja. So guys, thank you for all that you do for our community and our students and Weslaco.
Let's not forget our new director of K-West, Carlos Robledo, sitting right here next to us.
That's right.
Doing a great job of moving K-West into the next century with Facebook and the such.
Lefevre going to hand the ball off. Fabian Castro, and Fabian is going to get nowhere.
Got turned around in the hole, Joe, and I thought he had a chance to break it, but as he spun, he didn't gain any ground, and it's going to look like it's going to be a punt formation. Last time the punter was J.C. Vargas. Last week all the punts were made by Richard Lefevre. It looks like J.C. once again is going to be the punter.
Well, he's back there is about all we can say right now. Martinez and Elizondo back deep, and he's going to keep the ball. Vargas is in the fake punt, and he's going to go nowhere.
Well, you know, I told you Coach Burgett could get more than half of it, that he'd go for it, but you're now giving a hot McAllen Memorial team the ball on the 28-yard line, so you've got to have faith in your defense to come in right now, and you know it's non-district. Let's find out if we can go in this situation and make a stop.
So here we go. We got Garcia split wide to the left, Martinez to the right, Mendez and Spates in the backfield. Almaguer nowhere to toss the ball, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage by J.C. Vargas. So,
well, the fullback went right and the quarterback went left, so the quarterback had to try to make something happen and did a good job of not losing a whole bunch. In fact, he gained about a yard.
That's right. They gave him a yard on that play. Vargas comes up to make the stop. 2nd down and 9. For the Mustangs. 4:24 to go here in the first half. The score is 7 for the Mustangs and 7 for the Wildcats. 3 running backs in the backfield. You got JoJo Williams back there as well. Mendez, Spates, and Williams.
Once again, quarterback goes the wrong direction, or the running back. I don't know who to blame that on, Joe. But, you know, right now it's going to be 3rd and about 10. You know, we talked about putting your defense in a bad situation, but right now, in fact, it's going to be 3rd and 11. Put your defense in a bad situation, and they're answering the call so far.
Well, that they are. So 3rd down and 11 for the Mustangs.
Nice play by number 90. That's Fernando Garza on that play.
Will Garcia split to the right, and following him is going to be Saul Martinez. Spates and Mendez in the backfield. Almaguer under center, and we've got whistles. Timeout, Mustangs.
So that once again, that's Coach Littleton trying to make sure they're on the right play. You know, you had 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line, and now you're 3rd and 11 on the 29. You can't be happy about that.
Not at all, not after a 75-yard drive that you took to the house. And of course, you know, the first 2 plays that they ran from scrimmage looked like there were some confusion there. Right. And so now you've got 3rd down and 11. As you said, Coach, you want to make sure that you have the right personnel and the right play called.
Plus, you know, we're 3:25 to go in the half, and you can't take the timeouts with you. They don't go over to the second half, and both teams still have a timeout left. So I'm sure that Coach Littleton, who's been around forever, said, you know what, let's make sure we got everything right here, and let's see if we can't get half of this now. They may have a kicker. I don't know. They may just be trying to get in the field goal range. So we'll have to check on that, too.
Well, this time they bring Garcia and Martinez split to the left. Spates and Mendez in the backfield. Almaguer is under center. Almaguer is going to roll to his left, and the ball is in the air in the direction of Garcia, and it looked like there was some confusion as far as where Garcia wanted to run, because he was looking back, looking for the ball, and the ball was already in the air.
Well, I'm going to guarantee they had an illegal receiver down the field, because they had an unbalanced left with the line. The guy was covered up. The tight end was covered up, but they had 4 receivers down the field. But that's really pretty good coverage right there. Feet got tied up, and it looks like field goal, Joe. This is going to be a 46-yard field goal.
Ricky Garcia is going to attempt a 46-yard field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up. It looks like it's long enough, and it is good. 46-yard field goal from Ricky Garcia with 3:18 left in the first half to extend and give the Mustangs the first lead of the night. You know, they now lead 10-7.
The Mustangs took the first lead, but Coach Guzman, his defensive players, and his defensive staff did a good job, Joe, on that drive. And you're 28 yards from a touchdown, and you hold them to a field goal. You did a pretty good job.
Well, actually, you held them to red numbers. They lost a yard on that possession.
Yeah, they got out of there with 3 points, but, you know, at any level, that's a victory right there.
So it's 10-7 with 3:18 to go here in the first half. Mustangs will kick to the Wildcats.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach gets in his 2-minute offense with Lefevre and maybe tries to get the ball down the field here.
Quad is on to kick for the Mustangs. You're going to have Pedraza and Vargas back deep to return for the Wildcats. Remember, the last kick went into the end zone, so this young man's got a good little leg on him.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, maybe he has a slight wind at his back, but nothing major.
Vargas is going to retrieve this. We'll catch it at 2 yards deep, and he's going to bring it out, and he's at the 15, jumps the guy. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he's finally pushed out of bounds.
Roy Pedraza, number 5, about 5 yards deep, Joe, comes out of the end zone, and I'm not so sure he didn't take a late hit, but, you know, the crowd is going to yell for it, but it didn't happen. But he gets to the 45-yard line. That's a 50-yard return. We got 3:06 to go in a half. Maybe you don't have to get in a hurry-up offense now with 3:06.
Jace Bassan pushes him out of bounds because there's no telling if Pedraza would have broken that one. So here we go, Wildcats 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 2 receivers left to the right. Richard Lefevre is the quarterback. Castro in motion. Handoff is to Castro. He turns it upfield. He's going to pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, he ran a little speed sweep, but the Mustangs did a good job, made him cut back up inside. Looks like they're going to the power I offense now, so Coach Burgett's in no hurry. If they do turn the ball over, he wants to make sure there's no time left on the clock. Plus, Wildcats have a kicker. We can get him down in the field goal range. Let's see what we got.
Well, they're going to split Isaiah Gonzalez to the right. We've got a power eye for Lefevre under center. Handoff is made to Gonzalez. He's running off the left tackle. He gets across midfield just barely.
Yeah, that's number 6, Freddie Gonzalez. He got maybe 2 yards, maybe 1 yard.
1 yard.
That play, and it's going to be 3rd and 5, and we're right about 2:15 to go in the half.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats from midfield. 2:09 to go here in the first half. Isaiah Gonzalez split to the right again. Power eye, Lefevre under center. Handoff to Castro, the deep back, and he's met 1 yard across midfield.
Well, there's more guys there, Joe, than the Wildcats can block. They've got 10 guys inside the tackles, and 1 guy out here covering Isaiah. So there's more guys in there than you've got people to block.
Well, it's going to bring 4th down and 4. And looks like Burgett is going to wait for the clock to run down all the way to 1 second. And then he's going to call a timeout. It'll bring him to about the 1:15 mark here in the first half.
Oh, I think they're going to punt it and play defense.
J.C. Vargas, look, it looks like they are going to punt it. J.C. Vargas is on the punt. He's got the ball, and the kick is away. Going to the left, and it sails out of bounds. Not a very good kick. It looks like they're going to mark this one about the 32-yard line from where I'm looking.
Yep, you're real good there. That's a good call. So you got 1:14 to go. You've got to play tough, but you've got to also be smart enough to keep everything in front of you. You know, we know that JoJo showed some speed. We know Mr. Spates has some speed. You want to make sure that you keep everything in front of you.
Well, Garcia split wide to the left. We got 2 running backs in the backfield in Spates and Mendez. JoJo Williams is in the slot. And it's going to go across, and it's going to be JoJo Williams with the ball. And he's across the 40, 45, 50. He's going to cut back, and he's caught by number 37, Marcus Casares.
Well, there was a confusion in the backfield. They actually ran into each other, but when JoJo hit the corner, JoJo shifted in the 4th gear, and wow, with a minute to go, Wildcats are in trouble. The Mustangs at the 34-yard line.
36 yards on the carry for JoJo Williams. Power eye left. Spates is the deep back. The toss is to Spates. He's cutting back inside his left guard, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards.
You got to remember, McAllen Memorial has 1 timeout. Wesco East has 1 timeout.
And Memorial has a pretty good field goal kicker. We just saw him.
Right, but you're going to have to call a timeout to get him on the field. If they don't score on this play, you might see a timeout.
Handoff is to Mendez. Mendez off the left guard, and he's going to be stopped after a 2-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1, and it looks like the Mustangs are going to burn their final timeout.
Well, it's going to be, I'm not sure what the down and distance actually looks like. It may be 1st down, Joe.
They are going to give them 1st down. They just move the sticks.
Now, you've got no timeouts, and you've got 16 seconds. The only way you can run a play is towards the sideline and throw the ball.
Or the end zone.
Yes. Or the end zone and throw the ball. You run the ball, the clock's going to run out.
Right.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the field goal kicker, but I don't see them with the kick unit. Looks like they have the offense. So
if I were a coach, I'd take 1 crack at the end zone.
Now, you can't have anything bad happen. You got to coach up that quarterback, throw the ball away, don't take a big loss. Because you take a big loss here on a sack, and you might be out of field goal range. Got a size mismatch over here, one-on-one with this receiver.
Orion Cantu in the backfield, so they may have him in there for blocking purposes. You got 3 receivers to the right, which includes Spates, and you got one-on-one coverage with Garcia over here on the left side, and that one is thrown a little too deep.
He actually caught it.
Yeah, but it was out of bounds.
Right, so now we got 2nd down with 10 seconds to go, and they're bringing in
field goal unit. I just heard them yell field goal.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be field goal. Yeah, and there he is setting up his
Ricky
tee.
Garcia, the field goal kicker, is on
yards.
40-yard field goal. He already nailed one from 46, so we know he's got enough leg.
And this one's straight down the middle. Wildcats need to go hard after this kick. I didn't see
kick is up, and it is good. So he's got a 46-yard field goal and a 40-yard field goal. And they extend their lead to 6 with 3.3 seconds left in the first half. It is now the McAllen Memorial Mustangs 13, the Weslaco East Wildcats 7.
Wow. You know, you have a big play happen like JoJo turned that counter, which looked like was going to be a bad play for the Mustangs, but they're fumbling the ball around the backfield and backs are running into each other. You know, I don't know how much Campbell Spates has worked with JoJo. I mean, one used to be the other's backup. Now we're seeing them in the backfield together. So there might be some timing problems there.
And we've seen some confusion in the backfield already tonight, because remember when they kicked the 46-yard field goal, they took the ball over on downs after they stopped the Wildcats. They weren't able to produce positive yardage, but the first 2 plays from scrimmage gave them -1 yard.
Right. Right. And it looks like they're going to squib the ball here. They don't want any kind of return. I don't know. The guy's been kicking it in the end zone. Why you wouldn't just kick it deep? But I bet you they don't kick it deep.
Well, you've got Pedraza and J.C. Vargas back there deep, ready to return the kick.
Number 5, Roy Pedraza, off the foot of number 38.
Rafael Juarez has got a pretty good leg, so he's on to kick. We'll see what he does, Coach. And it is a squib. And Vargas is going to pick it up at about the 13-yard line. He's running off to the left, and he's going to be hit at about the 38-yard line and brought down. And the first half is over. At the half, it is the McAllen Memorial Mustangs 13, the Weslaco East Wildcats 7. You're enjoying Wildcat football right here on K-West. We'll be right back with second half action.
I have a choice.
My education means a lot to me.
So where I go to school counts.
My parents want what's best for me.
But I also want all that a traditional high school has to offer.
I want teachers that'll help prepare me for college.
I also want a well-rounded education.
And that means getting involved.
Things like band,
Sports, choir.
There's so many things I can do outside of the classroom
that can prepare me for life.
I do have a choice in where I go to school.
And I choose Weslaco.
Weslaco ISD.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course.
Yay! What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
The Wildcats are running onto the field, and that means that we are back on the air here on K-West. We want to welcome you back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium for second half action of tonight's non-district matchup between the Weslaco East Wildcats and the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by Coach John Boswell, bringing you all the action from tonight's ball game. Halftime score, the McAllen Memorial Mustangs leading this one 13-7.
And the Wildcats will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. And they really need something to get rolling, Joe. They gave away 6 points there. I'm sure the coaches were not totally unpleased because, you know, the field position dictated one and a big play helped on the other. But they gave away 2 field goals there right there at the end of the first half.
Well, we want to thank Julian Olivares and Vinny Berry for doing such a great job with the camera every week here on K-West. As you mentioned, Coach, the Wildcats will receive the ball back deep as J.C. Vargas along with Roy Pedraza.
Yeah.
Once again, the Mustangs lead this one 13-7. They're bringing out their kickoff guy, Rafael Juarez. This young man has kicked them all into the end zone. He's got a pretty decent leg on him.
Yeah, let's see if the wind is better in one direction than the other.
Well, the U.S. flag is going from east to west, so it looks more of a crosswind than a backwind here at the stadium. So the Mustangs are lined up. Juarez is 10 yards deep. We've got Vargas and Pedraza back deep to return this one. Kick is on its way in the direction of Pedraza. Pedraza will almost catch it at the goal line.
Down it.
And he's going to bring it out.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's dangerous, but he's at the 10, 15, 20. He's got one guy to beat, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's on his way. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. And he's down at the 4-yard line, brought down by number 4.
Oh, my gosh, Joe.
Salas.
You know, right now, I'm going to guarantee you in the film tomorrow, the coach is going to say, Roy, leave that ball inside the end zone. But you know what? He came out of there with a reason and a purpose, and the coverage team actually kind of cut their motor down, and he's on the 3-yard line. So this game is back in the hands of the Wildcats inside the 5 in the first drive of the second half. And here comes Richard Lefevre and boys.
Marcos Silva saving the touchdown, but a great return by Pedraza. Castro back deep in the power eye. Lefevre under center. Handoff is to Castro off the right guard, and he's in the end zone. It's a fumble and is recovered by the Mustangs. And that looks like the Mustangs have it, and he is on his way. That is going to be Ace Vasquez. Ace Vasquez takes it 5 yards deep in the end zone. He's got a herd of Mustangs in front of him. And that's going to be a 105-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Ace Chavez with the return. However, there is laundry on the field.
That is one of the most amazing turnarounds in a football game that I have ever seen. There's a flag back there at about the 12-yard line, but they are moving down the field. Let's remain to be seen what that flag is, but
Littleton is pointing at.
I believe the Wildcats fumbled into the end zone. It got knocked around in the end zone. One of the Mustangs picked that ball up, and they're acting like they're going for the extra point. So I have no idea what that flag was.
Well,
back
Littleton
there
was pointing at his crew saying, hey, guys, get over there. We'll let the refereeing crew sort that out. And here we go.
Personal foul. 72. Wildcats. Hitting that defensive player. Penalty is declined.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, the penalty is on the Wildcats. It's declined, so that's going to be a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Ace Chavez, 5 yards deep in the end zone, brings it out and takes it to the house.
Unbelievable turn of events. You're on the 3-yard line. You look like you're going to change the momentum of the game, and the Mustangs, they pull that momentum right back onto their side of the field and score on a 105-yard. We almost saw a 109-yard kickoff return. 105-yard. They're going for 2, Joe.
They are going for 2. Almaguer looks like he's changing it up. Mendez and Spates in the backfield. Tosses to Mendez to the left. Almaguer leading the way, and Mendez in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And so that's going to make it McAllen Memorial Mustangs 21, Weslaco Wildcats 7, and we've only played 40 seconds here in the second half.
Well,
and we've had almost 200 yards of running.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, the kickoff return, he's 7-8 yards deep, and he goes to the 3. So he was over 100.
And then 105
well,
on the
here
return.
It is right there. He's 108 yards if he goes all the way. But so it's a 105-yard return. So the effort of the McAllen Memorial guy that tackles him on the 3-yard line turns into a 14-point swing, Joe.
Yes, it does.
Because there's the tackle right there. And then on the first play, the Wildcats fumble the ball. Here comes that play.
It's a handoff to Castro.
And he fumbles on about the 2. Somebody inside the end zone Freddie Gonzalez had a shot at the ball. The ball gets picked up, and he's running against the lineman. That race is going to be won every time by the runner. So here we go for a kickoff at 11:20 to go in the third quarter.
So here we go. Juarez on to kick for the Mustangs. Back deep is Pedraza and Vargas. And this one's a shorter kick. And if that's going to bounce at about the 18. And Pedraza has it. and they're going to be dropped at about the 4-yard line.
Well, that's exactly what McAllen Memorial was trying to accomplish. They don't want to kick it to Roy, and you know the history of JC can take it all away. So let's just bloop it over there and make them handle it and cover well, and that's what they did. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 6, I believe, Joe.
They are going to place it at the 6.
What a big change of events right there. I know Channel 5 is here. Those will be big highlights tonight, I'm sure.
So here we go. The Wildcats on their second possession here in the second half, and we haven't even played a minute yet.
Right, their second play of the second half.
Lefevre can't see who's in the backfield with him. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to keep it. He's met in the backfield, but he's going to fight his way back for maybe a 1-yard gain.
And there's a pile up there, and I don't know if they're going to give him a yard, but if they do, no,
they won't.
No.
It's going to be marked at the original line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats.
So J.C. Vargas is coming in the game. Now, we started this game, Joe, with a couple of passes out of the Wildcats, but I don't know that they've passed since.
They have not. Vargas is be split wide to the left. Castro in the backfield.
He's going to
Fakes
throw
the
it.
handoff, and it's in the direction of Vargas, and he's got it on the run. He's at the 50, 45, 40, and there's no catching J.C. Vargas. 15, 10, 5. He's in the house.
94 yards.
94 yards on that catch and run.
Richard Lefevre catches the ball and puts it right on the money.
Vargas in stride, and you ain't catching him.
Okay, so, Joe, we've had a 105-yard kickoff return, 105-yard fumble return, and a 94-yard touchdown pass, and we're at 10:19 to go in the third period.
Well, the fireworks have begun here in the second half.
And the Wildcats are going for 2, Joe.
It looks like they are. And they just called the timeout.
Well, there was a miscommunication. The extra point team went out there. Coach Burgett wanted a 2-point play. He wants to get himself in a position where with the next touchdown we can be ahead.
Right.
He's trying to move the ball, but none of the officials will listen to him. He wants the ball in a certain place, but none of them will listen to him. He's out trying to talk to the head official there, and we'll see if we can get the ball moved or if that's what he's really trying to do.
Okay, he's sending his crew back on the field. Okay, so there was no request of a timeout is what we're being told by the referee.
Wow.
So the Wildcats are back on the field, and Lefevre is in at quarterback. He's got Castro in the backfield with him.
Okay.
Okay.
Be surprised that this is going to be a pass play. Shift.
Castro moves over to the right, as does Gonzalez.
Motion.
And they'll send Gonzalez in motion. Lefevre's going to roll to his right. He's got pressure, and he's got a wide open Jonathan Bulnes on the left side. Little, almost a bootleg play.
Well, we like to call those at West Louise. Those are called boudreaux. And
okay.
That's a little special wrinkle that Coach Burgett has up his sleeve, and I've never seen it not work. So good job, Jonathan Bulnes. Good job, and that's a 2-point play. So, Joe, we played less than 2 minutes, and we've seen
2 touchdowns.
Did both teams go for 2?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions.
16 points scored in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, that's right. So with 10:19 to go here in the third quarter, it is now the McAllen Memorial Mustangs 21, the Wildcats 15. What a great ball game. We expected fireworks, and we're getting them. They're going to send JoJo Williams back deep, along with what looks like Fernando Elizondo and Campbell Spates.
It'll be interesting to see tomorrow if Trevor Spates gets in the ball game as the Stanford Cardinal start their season tomorrow. I'd love to tell you who they're playing, but it escapes me right now. But it'll be, Kansas State, I believe. So that'll be interesting.
Okay, so it's actually J.C. Bazan back there,
okay.
number 6. Fuentes on to kick for the Wildcats, and it's a good one. It's over the head of Williams, and it's going to go out of the end zone. That was a line drive kick.
That was a line drive kick, and it's going to put the Mustangs on the 25-yard line. And once again, we're inside 2 minutes played in the second half. Let's see who's the first ones to really break.
We've actually only played a minute 51.
Wow.
So here we go. It's the Mustangs, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. 10:19 to go here in the third quarter. The wishbone. Almaguer under center. Williams handoff. Spates, I'm sorry. And he's got some running room. He's outside the 40, 45, 50, all the way inside the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. The ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Wildcats have recovered this fumble.
Well, J.C. Vargas says they have, and you know, getting in the wishbone just allows them to put all 3 runners on the field at the same time, and it is first down, Wildcats.
I didn't see who recovered it, but J.C. Vargas was signaling that they had the ball.
Well, we'll try to pick it up if they show it on the big screen. Looks like they're going to here, so Campbell Spates.
That was a 35-yard run.
It looks like.
And right there it's loose.
Number 4, I believe, knocked it out, and I still can't tell who recovered that ball.
There's all kinds of bodies on that one. But nonetheless, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 43-yard line.
And here's JC out here at wide out again.
Wide left. Lefevre in the gun. Hands off to Castro. Castro has some running room. He's across midfield, and he trips over the lineman who was out there blocking.
I believe that was Boldness.
Andres Garcia.
Oh, was it Andres? You know, we talked about this a week ago. Coach Burgett believes in his backs, and after the fumble out of Fabian, here he's right back giving him the ball. You know, a running back once in a while is going to fumble.
That's right. Lefevre hands it off to Castro again. Same play. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to power his way for a 2-yard pickup to the 45.
Yeah, there was more people again there inside. You know, when JC's out here playing wide out, they're man-to-man in him, and he's going to meet most kids. But right now, he's on the sideline, number 7. Isaiah Gonzalez is out here. He's also being manned, and Isaiah's a solid receiver in his own right. Let's see what they think here.
So here we go. Same formation for the Wildcats. Again, the handoff to Castro. Same play, and again, same results. 1, maybe 2 yards.
Well, you know, when they're running at that angle, there's no chance to really cut the ball back. When you're in the straight eye, you're coming downhill, and if there's a cutback lane, you can see it. So it's a little different run out of that formation. JC back in at wideout with 3rd and about 7, Joe. Let's see what they got.
3rd and 7. They're at the Mustang 44-yard line.
They're bringing coverage over the top of JC.
Yes,
they're going to help.
They've got a second man to help out. We'll see what if they roll back here on the snap. Castro in the backfield with Lefevre. Handoff is to Castro. Same play, and again, same result. 1 yard on that play. It's going to be 4th down and 6 for the Wildcats.
Brought down by 42, Jacob Backstad.
I'm going to guess that Coach Burgett's going to go for it.
6 to go.
Yes, he is. He's sending the doubles formation out into the field, so he's going to be in a pass set. It's going to be hard to double up JC. He's here at the bottom of our screen, number 1.
We've got Gonzalez and Vargas split wide to the left. 9 seconds on the play clock. It's rolling down to 5.
Coach Burgett needs to take a timeout.
And that's what he's doing. He's saying, hold on. He's got that hand up saying, we're going to take a timeout.
Oh, he's going to take the delay of game and punt it. So let's not waste the timeout. Go ahead right here in this field position. 5 yards doesn't matter, really. Let's back up 5 yards and punt it. Yeah.
Not if you're punting it. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to take the delay of game and 5-yard penalty and send J.C. Vargas back there to punt.
You know, he's faked one time, and he's capable of throwing the ball, so you never know what they got up their sleeve.
Bassan back there deep to return this punt. And it's a good one. He's going to field it at the 10.
Number 3 did a nice job. That's
keeping him there.
Ryan Rodriguez.
Ryan Rodriguez. did a good job, and the Mustang defender was contemplating whether or not to block him, but he realized that he's got the back of his shoulders facing him, so you're not going to put your hands on him.
Right, you had no choice. He couldn't block him, or he would have clipped him.
So he's going to return that one out to the 19-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. 7:31 to go here in the third period. Mustangs hanging on to their lead. They lead 21-15, and this one's been an exciting game here in the second half.
Well, I'm sure they weren't happy with that series right there. You get a turnover, you want to go and make something happen. We're back in the wishbone.
So here you go, Almaguer under center. Toss to Williams. Williams running off to his left side, looking for some room. And he can't find anywhere to go. He cuts up, and he's going to pick up maybe 5-6 yards.
You know, they're jumping into the wishbone. All that does is allow him to put all three of those great running backs in the backfield at the same time. That's a toss sweep out of the wishbone. It could have been the eye. It could have been power eye. It could have been a lot of different formations, but they're doing it out of the wishbone right now.
And it also gives you the opportunity to get 2 lead blockers out there as well.
And and you're going to have counters if you want to have counters. You can fake one direction. Well, here they put JoJo out as a wideout.
Yeah, they're going to split JoJo wide to the right. They're going to Salinas top of your screen, Spates and Mendes in the backfield. Mendes is the ball carrier. He's got some room up the middle. He's inside the 40-yard line out to the 42-yard line. Big pickup for Mendes. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
So they ran that little G play we talked about earlier, and Mendes is rumbling into the secondary, and nobody really recognizes he's there. He's tackled by number 31. That's Jesus Chuchu Infante on the tackle, and that's 1st and 10.
Got to see at the top of your screen, wishbone offense for the Mustangs. This time the handoff is to Williams. Williams looking for some running room, and he's met at the 45-yard line by Eric Gonzalez.
Well, you know, you got number 2 out there and number 5 out there, and both of us are getting a little confused, but I believe that was Campbell Spates on the play, and he's kind of getting beat up. He's had a fumble, and he's had some very hard, firm tackles, and I guess when you got a freshman out there, you want to make sure that he knows he's in a varsity football game.
Yeah, remember last year he was playing against 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
So here we go, same wishbone formation. Salinas at the top of your screen, split wide left. Handoff is to Mendes right behind the center, and he's going to power his way for about 4 yards to the 49, maybe the 50. We'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, that's going to give him about 3rd and 2, Joe. And again, the Wildcats need to stop this thing. And last time they were in this position, I want to say McAllen Memorial attempted a pass. But I think they're going to be, they're splitting JoJo out again in the wishbone. You know, he's running with a limp.
Yeah, they got Garcia split wide. They got Williams in the slot. Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Almaguer handing it off to Mendes. Mendes right behind his left tackle is going to get 3 yards inside the 47-yard line, and that's going to move the sticks again for the Mustangs.
You know, right now they're getting that. When they need 2, they're getting 3. When they need 3, they're getting 4. Right now, you know, they're in no hurry. As long as they have the ball, Wildcats aren't scoring. You know, the time of possession right now, I think, is starting to lean towards McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, you said as long as they have the ball, as long as they have the lead, they're in no hurry. So here we go, same formation. They got Salinas split wide to the left, wishbone for the Mustangs. Almaguer under center. It's going to be a toss. Is that JoJo?
I think it's Spates, but you know what?
It is Spates.
I can't tell 2 from 5 sometimes up here. And
they've got similar builds, and they both have single-digit numbers.
Right. JoJo just left the field, so we won't have that problem the next couple of downs.
2 and 5 are just upside down.
Yeah.
So here we go. Garcia bringing in the play for the Mustangs. 4:31 to go in the third period. Mustangs lead this one 21-15, 2nd down and 7 from the Wildcat 43-yard line. Spates, the tailback.
Cut back.
To Spates. He's got some running room. 40, 35, 30. And it's at the 30 where he meets the first Wildcat defender, Ryan Rodriguez.
You know, he ran up in there in a hole bigger than he expected it to be, because he actually kind of got into the hole and went, whoa, there's nobody here.
There's nobody here. He kind of like tiptoed, like, which way should I go?
And then he turned it on, and and now we're inside the 30 again. And Wildcats are making him pay when they tackle him, but he's getting a little bit of running room right now.
Same formation. This time they're going to split another receiver to the right. Again, Spates the handoff. It's the same play, but this time the Wildcats limit him to only 2 yards.
Yeah, that was a lot better up in there. Looked like Roy Pedraza was involved in the tackle. Also saw Luis Aguirre in on the play, and amongst others. But right now, we had all those big plays early, but right now the Mustangs are able to drive the ball. This will be the second 75-yard drive, I believe.
You're right, Coach. It is going to be the second 75-yard drive for the Mustangs. This time Almaguer is in the shotgun. Power I left. Spates is the deep back. And they'll hand it to Spates. Spates got some running room, but that hole closed rather quickly as the linebacker came up and hit him hard.
I think 34 maybe. Freddie Cardenas. What a nice hit. He stayed home. He got his head in that hole. He put it across the chest like they teach you on the drills and how to safely tackle. He did everything he was supposed to and stopped Spates in his track. Third and about 6, Joe. Let's see what they got.
2:37 to go here in the third period. Wishbone again for the Mustangs. Williams on the left. On the right. Spates on the left. It's going to be Spates right behind the right guard. And he's going to try to roll his way inside the 20 to the 19, where it'll bring up a third down for the Mustangs.
It's going to be
fourth down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, fourth down for the Mustangs.
Are you going for a field goal here, Joe, or are you going to say, okay, we need to get this 3 yards, and if we don't get it, we're putting the Wildcats in bad field position?
I'm kicking a field goal, but Littleton's going to go for it. I'm a guy that always wants to put points on the board.
Right. Well, let's see if they try something like drawing the defensive front off sides, or if they just run a power game.
Williams and Spates in the backfield. Toss to Spates. He's got some running room inside the 15 to the 10. He's knocked down at the 11. Didn't quite get to the 10. Looked like he was going to break that tackle, but they hit him hard enough to bring him down.
Right, first down, and this is the worst case scenario right now. We need a turnover. We need something big out of the defense right here. I see big number 55 entering the game. That is Jacob Banda, brother of Jonathan Banda, who started for the Wildcats for 3 years.
They're bringing Marcus Casares in as well. Single setback, that's going to be Spates in the backfield. Almaguer calling the signals. Toss left to Spates. Spates got some room inside the 5, and he's in for the score.
Well, they sprinted to the edge, and he put his foot, what they call putting your foot in the turf, and turns it up the field and gets an 11-yard touchdown run. That was a big knife right there in the side of the Wildcats with 1 minute to go in the third period. They find themselves down by 12. This extra point looks like they may be going for 2, Joe, trying to get up by 14.
They do. They got Almaguer in calling the signal. So that means they will go for 2, because I don't see their place kicker in there at all.
I'm not sure I wouldn't run something similar to I just ran.
Well, they've got Salinas split wide to the right. They've got Mendes and Spates in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Mendes. Mendes is going to go right up the middle, and he's going to power his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
He lost the ball, but they say it was over the line when they lost the ball, and that puts the Mustangs up by 2 touchdowns with 1 minute to go in the third quarter.
29-15 is now your score with a minute to go here in the third. We will take a quick timeout. We'll be back right here on K-West.
What does it take to make it at Baylor? Passion, intelligence, a mind that is actively engaging and questioning. We look for leaders, people who know how to inspire and lift everyone up. That's what it means to be a professor here. An individual who cares about every student and who transcends learning to transform lives. Baylor.
We got 1 minute to go here in the third period. The Mustangs lead this one 29-15. Juarez on the kick for the Mustangs. That one's deep, going in the direction of Vargas. He takes it at about the 2-yard line. He's looking for some running room, and he's hit at the 19 and brought down.
Yeah, they kicked it to JC, and they said, watch, Coach, we can go cover it. And they didn't give him anywhere to go, and he brings the ball back to the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats with 52.5 seconds to go in the third quarter.
That's right. We got less than a minute to go here in the third. We'll see what the Wildcats decide to come out doing here on this possession. We've seen them come out earlier and throwing, and we'll see what they've got up their sleeve on this set of downs. Lefevre. Ball's in the air and a little bit over the head of Alvaro Medrano.
Yeah, that's number 20. He did a nice job. You know, they went away from JC. He didn't draw double coverage. Number 20 didn't. That ball was just a little off track, and it's going to be 2nd down.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. This time they've got, is that JC split wide left? No, it's not. It's Gonzalez.
Yes.
Isaiah Gonzalez split wide left. Power eye left. Handoff to Castro. Castro's got some running room behind the center, out past the 25 to the 26-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Wildcats.
I see David Decanini and Big Armando Sainz leading the way on that last play. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2 with 29 to go in the third period.
Almost same time on the play clock and game clock. And guess who keeps that one? It's big Richard Lefevre. You need 2 yards, 3 yards. He's just going to fall forward with that big 6-foot frame body, and he's going to pick up that 1st down. So that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. No, it's not. Lefevre under center. They're going to get another play in before the quarter ends.
Well, when you're down 2 touchdowns, you've got to be ready to go.
Handoff to Pedraza. He's going to pick up 5 yards.
That's a nice run.
That's Freddy Gonzalez, excuse me.
That's Freddy.
Freddy Gonzalez is going to pick up 5 yards, bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats. That buzzer indicates that we have played 3 here at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. At the end of the third quarter, it is the McAllen Memorial Mustangs 29, the Weslaco East Wildcats 15. You're enjoying high school football right here on KWIS. We'll be back with fourth quarter action.
This is Texas Tech University.
Welcome back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. KWES bringing you another broadcast of high school football, a non-district matchup between the McAllen Memorial Mustangs and the Weslaco East Wildcats. First play of the fourth quarter, JC Vargas in motion. Play action, Lefevre. He's going to pass it, throw it on the direction of Bulnes. Bulnes across midfield to the 45. And that's going to be a big 20-yard play, 22-yard play, because they're going to mark it down at the 43.
Well, you know, Coach Brigette promised everybody in the press that they would throw the ball forward this week, and he's got a 94-yard touchdown pass, a 2-point conversion, and that nice play right there to Jonathan Bulnes, number 44.
22 yards on that play. Lefevre back in that quarterback, same play action. This time Lefevre's going to keep it off his left side inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 4-yard pickup for Lefevre.
So that's a nice little series Coach Brigette's got going here. It looks like a passing formation, but they look like they're running the speed sweep, and then they throw the ball out the back door, and then Lefevre keeps it off the fake action. And right now they're switching personnel, maybe going to a different formation.
Looks like they're going to go to that power eye again.
And he's going to call timeout.
Okay, timeout called by Coach Brigette. Coach, at the break when we were off the air, you mentioned we had 20 points in the first half. We had 24 points in the third quarter.
And I would wager to say maybe 400 yards, counting returns and passes and You know, there was probably 400 yards gained.
Yeah, a lot of offense, a lot of points there in the third period. And, of course, the Mustangs held the ball most of that period.
Well, they've had a couple of long drives. The Wildcat touchdown came on a 94-yard pass to J.C. Vargas. So there was some explosion. One of the touchdowns is a 105-yard fumble return. So there was some big plays in the third period.
And we also had that return all the way down to the 3-yard line. So here we go. 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats. Ball at the Mustang 39-yard line. Handoff is to Pedraza, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and pushed back.
Yeah, he may have lost yards there, but no, I think they're spotting him. I think it's going to be no gain. Yeah, it's going to be no gain. Yeah, you know, once in a while the defense guesses right also. I had a coaching friend of mine says, you know, they practice too. So it's like, why didn't that play work? Well, you know, they practice too. So they stopped that one.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 with 10:30 to go here in the ball game. 2 receivers split to the right. That's Medrano and Gonzalez. The toss is going to be to Castro. He's got some blockers. He's inside the 30 to the 25. He's got Lefevre in front of him. 10-5, touchdown Castro.
Hey, did you see the defensive back, I believe it was number 22, come over, and he sees Richard Lefevre and says, you know what, I think that guy's going to score a touchdown because I'm not going head up with number 13. What a great run right there. That puts the ball game back in play. We're going for the kick, which will make it 22-29 with 10:15 to go in the 4th period.
Orlando Fuentes on to attempt, I'm sorry, that looks like Daniel Lerma on to attempt the point after. With the hold is going to be Mike Gonzalez.
And the snap?
Hold the snap. The snap to hold the kick is up and good.
And the snap is Roy Pedraza. So, you know, Roy sometimes is the one that scores the touchdown, then he's got to go get there in the middle of the line and snap the football. Watch Richard Lefevre here.
Here comes Lefevre running up the field, and he's got Chavez, and Chavez just kind of says, ole. Chavez, of course, is that young man that returned the fumble for 105 yards.
Well, you know what? He's a smart football player, too. He probably wasn't going to make the play anyway, and why challenge 6'4", 200, and who knows, quarterback when you can live the play another play.
10:15 to go in the ball game. Wildcats just score. A great offensive series for the Wildcats, mixing it up, as you mentioned, Coach. They come out in what looks to be a passing formation and both pass and run the ball out of that set there.
Now, do you onside kick now, or is it too early?
I think it's too early.
Okay.
I think you maybe force them to do something by kicking it like to about the 25-yard line.
Right, maybe what they did to East earlier,
right.
Yes.
Just kick
maybe
it high
something
to
like
about
that.
the 25-yard line. So you got Williams, Spates,
and 6, right?
And Bassan back there to return for the Mustangs. On the kick is going to be Orlando Fuentes. In the direction of Bassan. Bassan will take it at the 5. And he is hit at the 16-yard line and dropped.
You know, while we're waiting for the Mustangs to come on the field, Joe, I'd like to take just a quick moment to recognize the athletic trainers for Weslaco East. Javier Banuelos, Tony Munoz, and JoJo, with little Mikey, the assistant trainer. They do a great job of keeping all the athletes in Weslaco East healthy and ready to go and hydrated and all that, and they do a great job. And again, that's JoJo Reese, Tony Munoz, and Javier Banuelos. Great job, guys, from the training staff.
Mendez, the solo back in the backfield. Almaguer under center. He's going to hand it off to Mendez. And Mendez is met at the line of scrimmage. And he bounces outside, and he's got some running room. He's at the 30, 35, 40. He's at the 50, 45, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. But we've got a flag on the play. And that one's going to come back because the Memorial coaches are very upset on the sideline.
Yeah, you know, he got stopped. He started spinning around, and, you know, usually that's when someone gets grabbed. But, wow, what another big play. You know, we've seen some stuff tonight, Joe, that is unbelievable. Second week of the season, and, you know, both teams look more polished than they did a week ago. I got to see McAllen Memorial against Pioneer, and of course I got to see East.
One by each team. Got a personal foul face mask, number 3 on the defense. We had an illegal block in the back on the offense. Penalties offset,
replay the down.
Well, you know what? That's the best case scenario for the Wildcats. And really, no harm done because you didn't really lose anything to McAllen Memorial. I know both sides are going, what? You know what? Okay, we'll play it again. Both of you did something wrong. Let's play it again.
So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Spates and Mendes in the backfield. Almaguer under center. Handoff to Spates right behind the right tackle, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards. They might give him 5.
Well, you know, right now the Mustangs have got to have some confidence. They've been able to drive the field a couple times tonight, and they're up by 7. So, again, you know, you're looking at clock management and ball control. We can't have a turnover. We can't do anything silly like hitting the back, and we just got to get 4 yards of play, and we'll be fine. And that's kind of what their modus operandi has been all game.
Well, they've got 6 on the first here, so we got 2nd and 4. Wishbone again for the Mustangs. Toss is made to, is that Williams? Yes, and he's going to turn around and look for some running room because there's nowhere to go. Vargas did a good job of sealing that in.
And Roy Pedraza was coming inside out, and I see big number 90, and I see 55. I see 56, I believe, is Ricky in there. Great job by the front of the Wildcats. 43 involved. You got Caceres involved, number 37. That was like an 11-man tackle right there.
Yeah, great job there.
Number 23 involved.
Vargas and Jesse Trevino not allowing Williams to get outside, making him cut it back where you've got all the pursuit. So here we go, 3rd down and 4 for the Mustangs. Wishbone again.
Don't jump.
Handoff is to Spates. Spates is met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for maybe 1 yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, they've got a punt, and it looks like they're bringing in the punt team. You're in a field position where you don't want to give the Wildcats the ball here on the, 24-yard line. So JC will probably be the guy deep. Got to play smart up front, make sure nobody fakes anything. I believe it's the fullback back there, 28. Is that the punter?
I think it's going to be Garcia, the field goal kicker. 66.
Okay, it's the kicker. Okay.
And Vargas is deep to return, as you just mentioned, Coach. First snap, punt is away, and it's a good one.
He's going to catch it. Nope.
It hit at the 40, and it takes a Mustang bounce all the way down to the 25-yard line where it's down by Fernando Elizondo.
Oh, so you got 75 yards from a tie ball game. And that's got to be what the Wildcats are talking about. First down, first down, first down. And those first downs have a chance of turning into touchdowns. So let's see what they do when they come out here with 7.5 minutes to go, Joe.
That's right. 7:31 to go in the ball game. The Mustangs lead this one 29-22. The Wildcats with a great stoppage, a great defensive stand there to force the Mustangs to punt. Now they've got the ball at their own 25-yard line. I formation. Toss is made to Castro. Castro off the left side, looking for some running room. He's going to turn up and pick up 3 yards.
You know, that might be closer to 5 because he just stayed real patient behind his blockers. The Mustangs did a good job of not letting him break that for 75 yards, which he's capable of doing. But that's going to bring up, what, 4 yards? So second and about 6.
Yeah, they give him exactly 4. And you're right, Coach. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. Clock is ticking at 7:03. And we're going to split out Medrano and Gonzalez to the right. I formation, Lefevre under center. Handoff to Castro right behind the center. And he's going to pick up another 4 yards.
That's a nice carry, right straight up the middle. That's running the inside run out of the eye where you can see that cutback lane we were talking about earlier. And it's going to be 3rd and about 1. So I would think Richard Lefevre is going to sneak this ball forward here.
Same formation. And there's Lefevre off the right tackle, and he's going to pick up 2.
I don't know you can stop that. I'm not sure. He steps over and finds the seam between the guard and the center. And I don't know defensively how you stop that.
You just got to be bigger than them. But way bigger.
You know, and right now the Wildcats are in no hurry because you score a touchdown, go for 2, and you win 30-29. You know, so you're in no hurry to score. You just want to keep moving just like the Mustangs have been doing.
Medrano and Gonzalez split to the right. Toss to Castro. Castro behind Lefevre is going to pick up 2-3 yards.
Yeah, they did a good job of running to that toss, the Mustangs did, and Fabian Castro did a nice job of cutting that ball back up inside. Looks like Coach Burgett is jumping into a different formation here. I see number 80 and I see J.C. Vargas in the game. Number 80, I believe, is Trey Sines.
Yeah, that is Hector Sines III, Trey Sines. So 2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Lefevre in the shotgun. They're going to send Vargas in motion. Jet sweep to Vargas. Vargas cuts it up. He's inside the 40, 45, 50. He's at the 45, 40. He's cutting across the field. He's got one guy to beat. He's at the 20, 15, 10. He's got down at the 5-yard line. That was Victor Castillo who saved a touchdown because Vargas was smelling the end zone.
Well, how smart was that run by JC? And, you know, right there at the end, I saw people stand up because they think he got horse-colored. I'd like to see that on replay. But you know what?
You're going to get your wish.
One time, the Wildcats were down here in this position and lost the ball on the fumble. So I'm sure they're talking about squeezing the ball. In fact, right there, JC should probably have the ball in his left hand, and he just switched it. Now, okay, when you tackle using the back of the helmet, that's the same as the face mask.
Right.
But the thing is, the officials don't get to watch a replay like we just did.
Power eye for the Wildcats. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Delay of game, that is big, but you know what? Again, we're not in a hurry. You're on the 8-yard line instead of the 3.
And this is something that the Wildcats have struggled with even last week, is getting plays in on time.
Well,
I don't have that stat, but we've seen quite a few times where that play clock.
Well, you're changing formations, you're changing personnel. Looks like they have Roy Badrons dotting the I right now, which is not usually the guy back there.
And they're going to toss it to him, and he's got some room on the left side. He's inside the 5, following his blocks, and he's in the end zone.
Now, do you kick or do you go for 2? You got 4.5 minutes to go. It looks like they're putting the kicker in.
They're sending the field goal unit in.
I'm not sure that I don't go for 2 right here, but you know what? You kick the extra point, you're probably going to get one more possession. That's number 22. That's Mikey Gonzalez holding. That's Roy Pedraza, who just scored the touchdown snapping.
Chris De La Rosa on to attempt the extra point. Here's a snap. Hold is good. The kick is up, and it's through the uprights. So with 4:40 to go, we are all tied up at 29.
Well, the Wildcats erased a 14-point lead by the McAllen Memorial. Some great individual efforts, but you know, we talked a week ago about the offensive line wears you down. Play after play after play. And then you get the run out of Castro, and then you get the run out of JC, and then you get the run out of Roy Pedraza. Now, 2 of those guys I mentioned play a lot of defense too. So you got to use the guys you got to be in position to win a football game. And you know, a lot of people said this was going to be a barn burner, and I know Channel 5 is eating it up because their game of the week. Oh my goodness, what a great game of the week. You know, realistically, both teams could be district champs and could meet again in the playoffs.
You are absolutely right, Coach. And, you know, and that's why they schedule these games, because they want to play the best competition, the best teams that are going to prepare them to be in a position to win district.
Well, you know, when I was still coaching, we had a good relationship with the McAllen Memorial staff. You know, there's some staffs you get along with and some you don't. You know, I'm not like we hang out with McAllen Memorial staff, but there were no problems with those guys. Coach Kaufman, who's now at PSJ North, great guy. Coach Littleton and his assistant coaches, just classy, good people. And so it's an easy game to schedule because you know the kids are going to act right, and you know after the game, win or lose, you're going to be able to shake hands with a guy you respect.
Well, Orlando Fuentes is on to kick for the Wildcats. Back deep, you've got Williams, Spates, and Basan. So here we go, Fuentes with the kick. It's a good one. Basan is going to return this one from the 7. looking for some running room on the left side of the field. Nowhere to go. Knocked out of bounds at about the 27. So about a 20-yard return for Basan.
You know, that's not a bad field position for the Wildcats to start on defense. Right now, Coach Guzman, I'm sure, talked to his guys about secure the tackle, pull the ball, because right now you want either a 4-down punt or you want a turnover. Because I don't think either team this time of the season really is looking forward to going to overtime. I mean, if that's in the cards, that's in the cards, but not something you want to work towards.
Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Williams in the slot position. Toss is to Mendes, running left, looking for some room, cuts it up on the hash mark, is going to pick up about 6 yards.
Well, let me tell you, Campbell Spates is a good running back for a freshman, but I'm sure one of the things the coaches are working on him, and he's probably not had to do it a whole bunch in his career, is blocking, and he didn't give much help to his partner that time on that toss, but I'm sure that's something in the next 3 years he'll improve at.
That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 from their own 34-yard line. They're going to send Salinas split to the right. Williams split to the left. Mendes and Spates in the backfield. Almaguer under center. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it.
Wow. You know, the quarterback, I think, was trying to pull that ball out, you know, like an option read. And if that ball would have got pulled out, it would have been on the ground, and it would have been Wildcat football. And I think for a second, the Wildcats thought it was out. So 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pull that ball as well from up here. That gave us all those indications. But that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Mustangs from their own 33-yard line with 3:25 to go here in the ballgame. Spates is the only running back in the backfield. Garcia is split wide to the left. Almaguer turns back and yells something at Spates. He's under center. Toss, Spates left. Almaguer leading the way, but Spates has nowhere to go. He's going to pick up 1, maybe 2 yards, but that's going to be well short of a 1st down.
Okay, so right now, the Wildcats have 2 timeouts. The Mustangs have 3. I would not be surprised at all to see this time run down and have the Mustangs take a timeout before they punt, but they may just let the time run down, try to get this punt off right before it runs out. There is 16 seconds on the play clock.
Plenty of time for the Mustangs to get in position, and now they're running up to the line of scrimmage. J.C. Vargas is deep. Ricky Garcia is back to punt. 4 seconds, and they get the snap off, just like you said, Coach. And that's another good punt from Garcia. It's going to hit at about the 38-yard line and take a Mustang bounce and roll out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will begin this next offensive series with 2:20 to go in the ball game.
So this is a drive right now where you've got to watch clock and down in distance. And again, you've got to now be telling your guys to squeeze the football. Okay, squeeze the football. Richard, throw it away. If we call a pass and the guy's covered, don't take a loss. And this is why we lift all those weights. This is why we condition after practice in the 4th quarter with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We got to be ready.
Isaiah Gonzalez split to the right, along with J.C. Vargas. Castro is the deep back, and it looks like Joshua Zamora is the first back. Going to be handed off to Castro off the left side, and he's going to be met after about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, and they're going to be gang tackling and trying to rip the ball. And, you know, Fabian had a fumble earlier in the game, so I'm sure their coaches have talked about that. At 25's got the ball. You want to rip it out. So here he comes. He's up inside. He kind of gets hogtied, and it's going to be 2nd and 7.
And the clock is ticking at 2:05, 2:04, 2:03. Power eye for the Wildcats. Lefevre looking over to Burgett.
We're inside 10 seconds. He needs to call a play. 3, 2, got the snap off.
Hand off to Castro. Castro again right behind the left guard, and he's going to pick up another 3 yards up to the 35-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Okay, so here we got a new formation maybe coming on the field. Yes, we got JC stepping in.
And they seem to be in no hurry. We got a minute and a half to go in the ball game.
Well, you're not in any hurry because you don't want to make any mistakes. I'd rather go to overtime. Don't really want to, but I'd rather do that than lose it right now on a mistake.
So 1:15 to go. The Wildcats up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 3 from their own 35-yard line. J.C. Vargas in motion. It's a jet sweep. He breaks the first tackle. He does fall down.
And it's going to be 4th and 1. Here's the interesting thing now.
And that should stop the clock.
Inside a minute, do you punt the ball? Or do you go for it because you got a 6'4", 250-pound quarterback?
I think you go for it.
Well, for some reason, maybe Mustangs just took a timeout with 48 seconds, Joe, so everybody's going to get a talk about it. I'm sure they're talking about the snake.
They will. And we'll take a quick timeout as well. 29-29 is the score. 48 seconds to go here in this ball game. You're enjoying Wildcat football right here on K-West.
When you see a school bus, pay attention. It means children are around. This driver was texting and distracted. He tried to pass the stopped school bus just as this little boy started to cross the street. In a flash, an innocent child is gone. Yellow means caution. Red means stop. So stop. It's not just the law. It's a child's life.
Brought to you by the Child Safety Network and the School Bus Safety Company.
Welcome back to McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. 48 seconds to go in the ball game. We are all tied up at 29. Non-district battle between the Wildcats and the Mustangs. 4th and 1. Lefevre is going to toss it to Pedraza. Pedraza across the 40, 45, knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
You know, when Roy runs, he makes the secondary trying to tackle him. He punishes them. Now,
and did you see the linebacker coming up on that play, anticipating the quarterback sneak from Lefevre?
Yeah, you know, and that's a nice call by Coach Burgett.
That was an awesome call from Coach Burgett.
Now, you know, one thing you got to keep in your mind with the possibility of overtime, Weslaco has to turn around and play Economides in Bobby Lackey Stadium on Thursday. So that's a pretty quick turnaround if you're going overtime tonight.
Lefevre, quarterback, takes a snap. He's fumbled, has a little problem with it. He's going to run the ball, and he's hit at the 45-yard line, dropped at the 46. Clock is going to move, 33 seconds.
Richard Lefevre on the scramble.
Did McAllen take another timeout?
Burgett called timeout, but he was pointing at the clock. I think he said they took a while or too long to call that timeout.
Wow, they're tackling around the helmet a lot tonight.
We've seen quite a few of those tonight.
But it's not getting called, so it must not be a penalty.
Well, we've got 32.2 seconds to go in this ball game. The Wildcats have it at their own 46-yard line. What do you think they're going to do, Coach?
Well, they may be saying, okay, we take a big shot here maybe, but, you know, the Mustangs defense is going to be set up for that big shot. You got a better chance of breaking a run against a solid front than you did maybe throwing the ball, unless he's got something. Well, you were right. Coach Burgett peeked at the wall. You know, that man sees everything. You know, I worked with him for 15 years, and he can see who's not blocking. He can see what plays are open. He sees the clock. It's amazing. But they may be thinking about overtime right now. Maybe that's something they want to do. You know, you may have to win a district championship going into an overtime. Who knows?
Or some of those games are going to be tough. You got Harlingen, San Benito, Los Fresnos this year. So here we go. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Lefevre is the quarterback. Looking down the field. He throws it in the direction of Gonzalez, and it's intercepted by the Mustangs. And that's going to be Joey Delgado with the interception. And he's still on his feet inside the 30. Finally dropped down at the 25-yard line.
Well, Mario Trevino did a great job of making that tackle as an offensive lineman, freshman Mario, number 62. Richard Lefevre is not moving well, and you know that return, Joe, may have put the Mustangs in field goal range because we do know they have a field goal kicker.
Yeah, the longest he's kicked tonight, 46 yards, and he's also hit one from 40 yards as well. Let's see if we can see what happened to Lefevre. He was limping, favoring that right leg. He may have just twisted it or something. I don't see him on the camera.
He may have got hit on the throw. We don't know because our eyes all went with the throw. You'd have to see the all 22 coaches angle to see what happened. And here we go, 1st and 10 with 20 seconds to go.
20 seconds, 1st and 10. Mustangs with the ball at the Wildcat 26-yard line. Salinas looking for someone to block. The handoff is to Mendez. Mendez off the left tackle inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
They're going to let it run down and kick the field goal. I see Coach Littleton walking towards the official. Watch me, watch me, watch me, and he's going to let it get down to about 1 second. Take a timeout. There you go, 1 second.
0.0 exactly.
Right in the middle of the field, Joe, the 23-yard line. So a 7-yard snap puts the ball on the 30. They're going to have a 40-yard field goal for the win here in just a second.
This has been a great game.
It's been an exciting game. It's been a game of big plays. It's been a game of big defensive stops. It came down to a couple of turnovers. The Wildcats fumble into the end zone. The Wildcats threw the interception there late. But they also benefited a Campbell Spates fumble earlier in the game. It's been an exciting ball game.
Garcia on to attempt his third field goal of the night. This one is the shortest one of the night. He's hit one from 46. He's hit one from 40.
This is going to be from 40 also.
And this is going to be from 40 as well.
I think you got to put a guy like J.C. Vargas over here on the edge.
And they're listening to you, Coach.
And come like a bat out of you-know-where. But he's too far away. He's never going to get there from that angle.
So here we go. Garcia on to attempt the field goal. Burgett's going to call a timeout and see if they can ice him.
Yeah, you want to put a little ice. You know, I've seen coaches ice their own kickers, but you don't know the mental makeup of this young man. He may have the confidence of, I made 2 field goals earlier, this is no big deal. But there's 3 people involved. There's a snapper, a holder, and a kicker. And if any of them has a flaw, that ball's not going to be good. So you've got to have some pressure in the inside. And if you get J.C. Vargas or someone like that in a 3-point stance coming off the edge, so here's what's going to happen, Joe. He's either going to make this kick and it's going to be ball game, or he's going to miss this kick and we're going to get to play overtime.
You are absolutely right, Coach. Those are our 2 scenarios.
Yep, that's the only ones that can be.
So here we
go.
Or
it's blocked and we'd return it for a touchdown.
There you go. We forgot that.
Yep.
Garcia on for the field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up.
No
and
good.
It looks like it is wide right.
No good.
Overtime. So, Joe,
we are headed to overtime.
So you want to take a quick break, or you want to talk about overtime rules? I know they're going to have to flip the coin and all that stuff.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk overtime rules. We are headed to overtime.
I have a choice.
My education means a lot to me.
So where I go to school counts.
My parents want what's best for me.
But I also want all that a traditional high school has to offer.
I want teachers that'll help prepare me for college.
I also want a well-rounded education.
And that means getting involved.
Things like band,
sports, choir.
There's so many things I can do outside of the classroom
that can prepare me for life.
I do have a choice in where I go to school.
And I choose Weslaco.
Weslaco ISD.
For overtime, we ended the game in regulation, knotted up at 29. The Mustangs won the toss. They decided they would defend. So the Wildcats will start at the 25-yard line. The rules in high school football overtime is you start at the 25 until you score, kick a field goal, or are stopped on downs or there's a turnover.
Right, and then the other team gets a shot at it, and if it ends up tied at the end of the first overtime, then we go to a second overtime. In the third overtime, if you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2. So let's hope we don't get to that point. So we're going to start in a full backfield, and Richard Lefevre is in the game.
Mustangs a little confused, sending someone out late. They're going to toss it to Castro. Castro across the 25, 20, 19, 17-yard line. Maybe the 18-yard line, 17.
You know, there will be no running clock, but there will be play clock. But it looks like we have an injured Mustang. Number 9 took the worst end of that, but he's walking back out on the field.
Well, the Mustangs got people out there late. The Wildcats were already in position and were already barking signals when a Mustang ran off the sideline to join the rest of his group on the defensive side of the field. So here we go. 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats from the 17-yard line. Lefevre under center. Power I. He's going to keep the ball, go right up the middle, and he's going to carry everybody inside the 5-yard line.
Wow. Holy
Caught
cow.
the Mustangs on their heels.
Unbelievable. Great job by the running backs, the offensive line. And that takes the ball inside the 5. First down, Joe. from the 5-yard line.
First and goal for the Wildcats.
You know,
that's a big quarterback.
You want to say they can do that 3 more times, they'll score.
Well, you've got nobody up under the center. Why don't you do it again? Hand off to Pedraza. He's inside the 3 to the 2-yard line.
Well, you know, right now, you're thinking touchdown. Right now, Coach Guzman's got his group thinking stop them, because he scores a touchdown. The only way this game can continue is for Mustangs to score a touchdown. Now, last week, P.I. went for 2 in overtime.
There we go. Lefevre keeps the ball, and is he in the end zone?
All the linemen have their hands up, and there they go. Touchdown, Wildcats. Richard Lefevre, the big, you know, he limped off the field at the end of regulation.
There's no limp on his legs now.
Well, you know what? Sometimes a young man grows up. You know, you're a junior. You're, what, 15, 16 years old? And it looks like Coach Burgett may be going for 2. If you go for 2 and don't make it, Joe, if the Mustangs score, all they have to do is kick an extra point to win.
Yeah, the extra point, you're right. So here we go. Sending Lefevre back in on the field.
I don't know that they have a timeout. They need to get moving here. That clock's in size 5. Do you gain a timeout in overtime?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so he used his
overtime
overtime
uses one
timeout.
timeout. You do get 1 timeout in overtime.
So if you had one like the Mustangs do, they get 1 more. So they have 2, actually, I believe. Or do they just both get 1?
Just get 1.
Okay. You know, when you're coaching, sometimes you don't know all these rules. And in my whole coaching career, I only went overtime like 3 times in 35 years. Now, there's different rules in different states on how you do overtime. Some states go to the 10-yard line and do what we just saw. You start at the 10 and you go. And then Texas goes from the 25. And there's, even back in the day in Utah, you would play one quarter.
1 quarter, right.
And if it was like the NFL, kind of. If you scored, then it was over.
I like the 25 because you can stop someone, and that's a pretty long field goal.
Yeah, but not at the college level, and we're using NCAA rules.
Right.
Yeah, 42-yard field goal is almost the extra point in the NFL or the college level. That's, you know, that's a pretty easy kick.
A chip shot for a lot of kickers.
Yeah.
So here we go. Wildcats score on their first possession of overtime, and now are going for 2. They've got the power eye. Lefevre under center. He's going to toss it to Pedraza. Pedraza, he's got some running room. Does he get in?
Yes.
He gets in.
Oh, my gosh.
A little delay in the call.
Well, I don't know if that would pass the scrutiny of
did his knees touch?
Yeah. If this was the NFL and I could say, hey, look at that again, I'm not sure. I'm so happy for Roy Pedraza and the Weslaco East Wildcats, because now you force Coach Littleton. Well, I think he got in. I think he put his hand down. He's strong enough to hold himself up. I think he got in. Now you could force Coach Littleton to score and go for 2. So they've got a lot of stuff that needs to happen here.
Well, here come the Mustangs on their first possession of overtime. Again, they've got the wishbone. Spates, Williams, and Mendez in the backfield. Almaguer, the quarterback, under center. Hands off to Mendez. No, he's going to keep the ball, and he's going to lose 2 yards on that play.
Wow, nice job, number 23. I see 37, number 45. Great job by the Wildcat defense. That is Luis Aguirre, Marcus Casras, and...
Well, we saw that play earlier, Coach, remember? And it looked like Almaguer wanted to pull it, but Mendez held on to it too tight and took it away from him. This time, Almaguer does pull it, and the Wildcats are ready for it. So here we go, 2nd down and 11 for the Mustangs from their own 26-yard line. I mean, from the Wildcat 26-yard line. Mendez, the only running back in the backfield. They're going to bring around JoJo Williams. Delay of...
Hey. That's the delay of game, Joe. They had a pretty unusual formation. They had a tight 3 receiver set to their left. And then they had a tight end over here on the right. I'm not sure what they're trying to get in, but right now, you're 2nd and about 16 to go. And the momentum is wearing white right now.
That's right. So here we go. 2nd down, 16 for the Mustangs. Ball is at the 31-yard line, the first possession of overtime. Spates, Mendes in the backfield.
Pass.
Roll out left for Almaguer. Looking down the field. He's got no one. He's going to run the ball. He's inside the 30. Brought down at the 26-yard line.
Still going to be 3rd and 11, Joe. That's great reaction by the Wildcat secondary following, I believe it was Spates. It might have been JoJo out to the flat.
JoJo was out here to the right.
Okay, so it was Spates out to the flat, and then corralling the quarterback. Well, you know it's 4-down situation right here. It has to be because the
you have to score a touchdown.
Yeah, they have to score a touchdown. So are you thinking touchdown or first down right now?
I'm thinking first down.
So
here
here
we go.
comes doubles.
Almaguer in the shotgun. He's got Mendes in the backfield with him. Spates left, Williams right. Almaguer nowhere to go. He's got the ball in the air, and it's caught by Garcia at about the 13-yard line. So that's going to be first down for the Mustangs.
Well, that quarterback did a nice job of getting out of trouble, and that tight end or that wideout did a good job getting open in the middle of the field. But they still have no room for error right here. There's no room for error on the Mustangs. Anything that goes wrong comes back in. In fact, they can make a first down before scoring a touchdown here.
That they can. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Ball is at the 12-yard line. Williams split wide to the right. Spates and Mendes in the backfield. Almaguer is under center. It's going to toss to Spates to the left, to the right. Spates still on his feet inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
Wow, that was just a lot of people up in there wearing both uniforms and not really anywhere for Campbell Spates to go. I'm kind of surprised, though, that the Wildcats aren't doing a little more grabbing for the ball because he fumbled earlier in the game.
So good, strong running by Spates there, bringing up a 2nd down and 5. Ball is at the 7-yard line. Split wide to the left is going to be Nick Tovar. Wishbone for the Mustangs. Almaguer calling his signals. He's going to toss it to Williams. Williams running left. We've got Wildcats out there, and they bring him down at the 6.
So no gain, Joe. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 for a first down, 3rd and about 6 for a touchdown.
Wildcats did a great job of staying home out there, not over pursuing, and avoiding any kind of cutback.
Well, this is huge right here. If you can cause them to lose yards or stay right where they're at, then they're in a 4-down situation. You know what, though? This is good for both teams. You want to see where you're at? Let's test ourselves against a really good football team, and let's see what happens.
Spates, the only running back in the backfield. Almaguer calling out the signals. Mendes at the right. The toss is to Spates. He's running off to the left, and he's hit at the 3-yard line. So that's going to be very close to a first down.
It's going to be close, but I don't think they got it.
The head lines judge has got his hand up and is signaling 4th down. So you're right, Coach. They did not get it. So it's going to be 4th down and less than 1 yard to go. And the Wildcat fans are on their feet.
Well, I gotta believe that number 28 is their pounded man.
Yeah,
I gotta believe.
They're going to give it to Mendes.
But he's not even back there. Yeah,
yes, he is. He's back there, right behind Almaguer.
Got to believe they're running the G to the right. That's what I got to believe.
Here we go. 4th down and 1. Here's the ball game right here.
Quarterback
delay
sneak.
of game.
That's going to be 5 yards.
Clock went down to 0.
Oh, my gosh. You know, we talked last week about shooting yourself in the foot. That one was a cannon. You're at 4th and 1 on the 3-yard line, and now you're at 4th and 6 from like the 8. That's not where you want to be.
So Wildcat fans on their feet. The ball game is right here. You stop them, you win.
You don't stop them, now you're going to stop a 2-point play.
That's right.
So this is not.
Spates is the only back in the running, the only back in the backfield. Almaguer under center. There's a snap. Toss left. There's some Wildcats out there, and they've stopped them.
Joe, I think we got a ball game.
It looks like they stopped them. We'll see where they officially mark this one. It's going to be close, but I don't think he got it.
Well, the defensive coaches for the Wildcats are out there, but now everybody's asking questions. They need people to clear away. They may take the chains way over there.
They're going to bring the chains out. They're going to bring the chains out.
Wow, Joe. I've never been this excited about the chains hitting the field ever.
This one is close.
You know what, though? I'm trying to look at it, and I think they're about a yard short.
I think they're short, but we'll see.
I've been known to be wrong, though.
Well, I've been known to be wrong many a times.
You know, a little bit prejudiced, but there's a TV camera right there trying to get a shot of it. I don't know if it's going to go on the big screen, but you know what? It's short.
That is short. That is the game. The Wildcats win this shootout in overtime, 37-29.
Well, that's a lot to build on. That's a short week, getting ready for Economides. That's a lot of people feeling good. Two really good football teams, Joe. It was, again, a pleasure working with you tonight. So proud of the Wildcat coaches and the Wildcat community. That's an outstanding job. I just saw Coach Burgett jump and booty bump with one of the players. Don't see that often. Outstanding job. Everybody from K-West, good job. Julian and Vinny, Joe, it's been a pleasure. Good job.
Well, we are done. We are final here at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium in overtime. The Wildcats win this one 37-29. Coach, it's got to feel good though. Short week, you're going home. You've been on the road 2 weeks in a row. You get to go home, play in front of the home crowd for your last non-district ball game, but you're 2-0. The Mustangs dropped to 1-1. They've got to play San Benito in San Benito next week as they also prepare for district as well. Again, we want to thank Vinny Berry and Julian Olivares for all their great work behind the cameras. We want to thank the director of K-West for being out here with us, Carlos Robledo, superintendent of schools, Dr. Leo, of course, the principal at Weslaco East, Dr. Raul Cantu, the athletic director, Oscar Riojas. Once again, the final score, the Wildcats 37, the Mustangs 29. For K-West, I am Joe Aguilar, John Boswell. Good night.